From a well in Canaan to the throne of Egypt. The story of Prophet Yusuf. A child had a dream. In that dream, he saw the sun, the moon, and 11 planets bowing to him. He told his father about it in innocence, not knowing that this dream would define his entire life. But instead of that dream bringing him comfort, it brought him betrayal. He was taken by his own brothers, thrown into a well in Canaan, sold into slavery in Egypt, imprisoned for years, and forgotten by the world. But what makes this story unlike any other is that it began with a dream, and it ended with that same dream coming true. If you find value in this, support the channel so it can reach others. In the land of Canaan, present-day Palestine, Yusuf was a young boy, deeply loved by his father, the Prophet Yaqub. One night, he saw a dream that stayed with him. He saw 11 planets, the sun and the moon, all bowing to him. He told his father, and Yaqub understood immediately. This was not a child's imagination. This was something greater, a future written by Allah. But he warned him to keep it private, because not everyone would understand it the way his father did. And he was right, because around him, jealousy was already growing. His brothers heard about the love their father had for Yusuf. And more importantly, they heard whispers of that dream, a dream of elevation, a dream of honor. And instead of patience, jealousy took root. They said, "Yusuf and his brother are more beloved to our father than we are." And from that feeling, a plan began to form. They took Yusuf away from Canaan, far from home, far from protection, into the silence of the desert. And there, they lowered him into a well. A child who once spoke of a rising dream, now sinking into darkness, his voice calling upward, then fading, then silence. Allah describes it simply. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. فَلَمَّا ذَهَبُوا بِهِ وَأَجْمَعُوا أَنْ يَجْعَلُوهُ فِي غَيَابَةِ الْجُبِّ. So when they took him and agreed to put him into the bottom of the well, in that moment, it seemed like the dream had ended. But what no one understood was that the dream had only just entered its first stage. A caravan passing between Canaan and Egypt stopped near the well. They pulled him out, a child in the desert, and they sold him in Egypt for a small price. The Quran says, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, وَشَرَوْهُ بِثَمَنٍ بَخْسٍ دَرَاهِمَ مَعْدُودَةٍ. And they sold him for a low price, a few silver coins. From the dream of honor to the reality of slavery. But even here, the dream was not dying. It was moving. Yusuf grew inside the house of Al-Aziz in Egypt, a place of wealth and authority, but also a place of hidden trials. He was tested with temptation and chose purity, then tested with false accusation and chosen for prison. And so he entered the prison of Egypt, a place where dreams seem farthest away. But Allah was still moving the story forward, because dreams from him do not disappear. They develop over time. Inside prison, Yusuf remained steady. He interpreted dreams of others. He spoke of truth while his own situation remained unchanged. Years passed, but something important was happening. The world forgot him, but Allah did not. And outside the prison, a king had a dream no one could interpret, a dream about Egypt's future. And suddenly, the forgotten prisoner became the only key to understanding it. Yusuf was brought out of prison, not as a freed man, but as a man chosen for something greater. He interpreted the king's dream, and in that moment, his entire life aligned. The dream he saw as a child was now being fulfilled step by step. The well, the caravan, the house, the prison, all of it was leading to this. He was placed in authority over Egypt, and the Quran confirms, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, وَكَذَلِكَ مَكَّنَّا لِيُوسُفَ فِي الْأَرْضِ. And thus we established Yusuf in the land. The dream had not been lost. It had been unfolding all along. Years later, his brothers came to Egypt during famine. They stood before him, not knowing who he was. The same people who tried to erase his dream now depended on its fulfillment. And when truth was revealed, he forgave them, because he understood something they didn't. The dream was never destroyed. It was delayed into perfection. Yusuf's story began with a dream in Canaan, and it ended with that same dream fulfilled in Egypt. Between those two moments was a well, a caravan, a palace, and a prison. But none of them were detours. They were steps. If Yusuf's dream had come true immediately in his childhood, would it have had the same meaning? And in your life, where are you right now? The well, the prison, or the rise?